If you've ever tried to get help but got told we can't treat your anxiety until you stop drinking, or we can't treat your addiction until your depression is under control, then you already know what dual diagnosis feels like. It's like being stuck between two doors and they're both locked. No one seems to know what to do with you except send you in circles. So in this video I'll explain what dual diagnosis really is, why most health professionals get it wrong, and how to finally get the help you deserve that treats both the mental health and the addiction. Before we even talk about what dual diagnosis means, let's talk about what it feels like. You know something's wrong but no one seems to connect the dots. So you go to your GP, you say you're struggling, you feel low and you can't cope, and they prescribe you antidepressants. No one questions your drinking, no one mentions addiction. You just get a box of pills and they just say, come back in a few weeks. So you take them, hoping something will change. But instead of feeling better, you just feel numb. Like you're stuck in your body, you're not really living in it. You're not crying, but you're not laughing either. So eventually you just stop the meds. You try something else. You go to AA, and when you're in AA, you're told addiction is the only issue. Don't worry about your anxiety, just do 90 meetings in 90 days. But on the inside, the anxiety is crushing you, and no one seems to get it. So you bounce between the two, pills and peer support, doctors and meetings, trying to fix one thing while the other keeps dragging you under. And you start to think maybe it's just you. Maybe you're too broken, too complicated. But that's not the truth. That's just dual diagnosis. Now let's break down what dual diagnosis actually means. It's when someone's dealing with both mental health condition like anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, and an addiction at the same time. Not just two separate issues, but two things feeding each other, fueling the cycle. So for example, maybe you drink to cope with the anxiety, but the drinking makes anxiety worse, so you drink again. Or maybe you're prescribed something to help your depression, but that just numbs you flat out and you feel nothing's working, so you just drink to numb the noise in your head, which leaves you feeling low, beating yourself up and depressed again, which fuels the drinking cycle. And here's the worst part. Services often treat them as two separate things, but they're not. They're entangled. You can't just fix one and hope the other one magically resolves itself. You stay stuck because everyone's treating the symptoms, not the relationship between them. Depression isn't separate from addiction, anxiety isn't a side issue, and drinking isn't just a bad habit. They're part of the same coping system, like cogs in a machine. When you remove one, the whole thing grinds to a halt. And here's what most professionals miss. Mental health symptoms and addictive behaviours are trying to solve the same problem, just in different ways. The panic, the dread, the emptiness, they're signals, and the addiction is a strategy. So when services focus on removing the substance or treating the mood, but never really ask why it exists in the first place, you're left thinking you're broken, when actually your system is working exactly as it's built. It was built for survival, not for healing. It's designed to get you through, not help you grow. Anxiety is bracing for danger, and depression is shutting down to protect you. The addiction is numbing so you don't have to feel. And your GP and the people in AA, they're not seeing how fragile this whole system really is, how many moving parts you've held together just to function. And that's why real recovery doesn't start by removing the substance, it starts by understanding what it's doing for you in the first place. What's the anxiety protecting you from? What's the pain of the addiction covering up? What is beneath the surface that's really going on? Until someone answers that and helps you rebuild the system from the inside out, you'll keep going around in circles because you're not failing, you're just treating the symptoms and not the whole system itself. Here's what I've learned from working with hundreds of clients experiencing dual diagnosis. It needs an integrated approach. You can't treat the mental health or the addiction, you have to treat both together in the same place at the same time. And that means we track both, the cravings and the mood, side by side to see how they influence each other. We map out the patterns when someone drinks, what emotions came first, what belief triggered that spiral. We build emotional tools, grounding for panic and containment for overwhelm. We rewire coping systems, not just don't drink, but how to get through a day without numbing. We work on what's real, trauma, pressure, isolation, not generic advice, but your actual life. We help you regulate with breathing, understand your body, creating a stabilised system before we dig deeper. And we go slow because pushing too fast can trigger shutdown or relapse. That's what an integrated support process actually looks like in practice. It's precise, it's layered, and most importantly, it works. If this is hitting home and you're tired of being bounced between services and wondering how to get help for dual diagnosis, that's exactly why we made this channel. We work with high functioning professionals dealing with both addiction and mental health, without the shame, without rehab, without losing everything. So if you want to see what addiction counselling looks like and how it can help you with dual diagnosis, click the video on the screen now or the link in the description and I'll walk you through it and I'll see you there.